Good evening. We're going to begin tonight with the federal corruption case against Kwame Kilpatrick.
A federal judge said no way Kilpatrick will not get a new lawyer and the case will go forward.
7 Action News investigator Heather Cataldo joins us from downtown Detroit tonight. Heather, exactly what did the ex-mayor do to try to get this new attorney?
Well, honestly, this was kind of surreal today. You had Kwame Kilpatrick and Jim Thomas inside the federal courthouse today. They've worked together for 4 years, and they were basically trying to divorce each other. Kilpatrick even filed this affidavit with the court saying he felt like his attorney was putting his own interests ahead of Kilpatrick's. A federal judge aggressively questioned Kwame Kilpatrick this morning to find out why the former mayor suddenly wants a new lawyer just weeks before his corruption trial is set to begin. Kilpatrick is charged with racketeering, bribery, and extortion, accused of running a criminal enterprise out of the mayor's office. Kwame Kilpatrick told the judge that communication with his longtime lawyer has broken down so badly, most conversations end in screaming matches. And it's all because Jim Thomas once represented this man, Gasper Fiore. 7 Action News was the first to report this conflict of interest problem centered on a witness. Thomas today admitted that he represented Fiore back in 2005, but says no one predicted that the owner of Boulevard and Trumbull Towing would become such an important government witness until grand jury testimony was just recently delivered to Kilpatrick's defense team.
Should I have seen it sooner? I mean, in hindsight, I guess I could say that I could have seen it sooner. I should have seen it sooner. I would have loved to have brought it to the court's attention before this, but it didn't reach its critical phase until last week.
Thomas represented Fiore regarding a donation that the city contractor made to the Allen Brothers Political Action Committee. According to the indictment, soon after Fiore gave the PAC 25 grand, the PAC donated the same amount of money to Kilpatrick's re-election campaign. The indictment also alleges Kilpatrick and co-defendant Bobby Ferguson tried to extort thousands of dollars from Fiore. Kilpatrick told the judge his whole defense theory involves going after people like Fiore on the stand, and he no longer believes Thomas can do that aggressively enough since Fiore used to be his client. According to this affidavit Kilpatrick filed with the court, he says, quote, "I was never told that the representation related to a federal investigation." The judge went after Kilpatrick, saying the first words out of your mouth in a recent meeting were, "You love Mr. Thomas." Kilpatrick fired back with, "I do love Mr. Thomas. I never said I trusted him." Federal prosecutors suggested this was just a delay tactic, but legal experts say Kilpatrick raised a legitimate issue.
But at the end of the day, the rules for professional conduct put no burden on the client. The burden is on the attorney, not on Kwame Kilpatrick.
Criminal defense lawyer Anthony Chambers says the feds should have alerted the court about this problem as well.
Under the Jinx Act, they have a right to withhold materials up until the time a witness testifies. But in a case like this, where they know there is a potential conflict of interest from the grand jury from quite some time ago, you have to wonder why they didn't disclose this early on.
Now, the government ultimately dropped the count involving Gasper Fiore so that the judge ruled that there was no conflict. Gasper Fiore will not be called as a witness, so the trial can go forward with Jim Thomas representing Kwame Kilpatrick. And in sort of a strange twist after this very contentious hearing, Jim Thomas said, "Hey, I love Kilpatrick. I'm looking forward to this trial." So we knew this was going to be an interesting case. It got even more interesting today. Reporting live at the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit, I'm Heather Cataldo, 7 Action News.
And we know you'll be there every step of the way, Heather. Thank you.